Hello, my fellow garden gals and guys. Welcome back to my channel, Serenity Now Garden. My name's Jeannie, and I garden in central Minnesota in the zone 5A. And here's my front bed I want to show you today. How it is right now, just beginning of September. I just added this little section here to connect my bed onto my neighbor's bed that's near their driveway there. So I have some Nepeta up front, and this is a Monet Weigela. This will get pink flowers in the spring. It'll get a couple feet tall and wide, or about 1.5 feet. We have some Agastache or Anise hyssop that really attracts the pollinators. And in the middle there is a proven winner's Niagra Falls Grass. So that'll get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. I love the blue color, so I always like to add some grasses if I can. The zinnias are just gorgeous right now. We have these pink senoritas. This is one of my favorite zinnia. And then we have some cherry perfusion that are a bit shorter. We have a Weigela there, Sonic Bloom, and Potentilla that are kind of sporadically blooming at this point. Almost done for the year. We have some crab apples in this bed up here, Prairie Fire. And as you can see, the Millennium Allium are just done blooming. So what's really going to show in this bed in the fall here are all the sedums. We have some low-growing sedum in the front, but back here, this is Sedum matrona. It really stands out. It's going to be bloom the light pink color. It has purple stems. I love these. And we have some Nepeta there still blooming just a little. We have a few Silvermount artemisias over here in front of these Millennium Allium. Let me show you this. So this is the first year I did the Chelsea chop on these about the end of June. It really worked out well. It keeps them nice and compact and they won't get leggy. So I will be doing that again next year. Wichita Blue junipers in the very back. Yeah, and this bed has really done good this year. I'm happy with it. It's about all filled. It's just about 4 years old. Let me show you my favorite planter of the year. This is a shade planter, an alocasia plant, which is an elephantier called Regal Shield. This really stood up to the wind. Look at, I even attracted a little tree frog there a couple weeks ago. But my favorite shade container, I have just some Dichondra silverfalls and some New Guinea impatiens that aren't even blooming anymore underneath. But I will definitely be having this planter again next year. My front porch pot's doing pretty good. Foxtail fern in the front. We have various coleus and irisine and creeping jenny there in the pot, and we have some dragonwing begonias in the hanging basket. I might change it up next year. We'll see. Maybe I'll put the elephantier up here. This is a variegated sweet potato vine. It gets little white flowers, so that's a little bit different. But it worked out okay up here. Not my favorite year, but not bad either. Let me show you here what we have on the side yard. We have 2 little lime hydrangeas on the right. Just starting to turn that blush color. Really big panicles on this. They're drooping a bit because they're just so heavy at this point. But I love this plant. These plants are one of my faves. And look at the Diablo 9-bark hedge I put in is doing great. These on the far right are like 10 feet tall already. Those like tall plumes there. Now, as you get this way here, these get just partial sun, so they're not as big. But hopefully they end up catching up. But very fast grower. I highly recommend that. Retaining wall, nothing too significant right now. We have some geraniums that are just out of bloom. Look at all the natives. Like, we cut down buckthorn in here, and these white snake root just kind of took over this year. Very pretty. I might control it just a bit next year, but I love having those white blooms. So that's a native here. It's not invasive here, but it can be poisonous to livestock. And down the side yard here, we have a few ground cover sedums that are going to be blooming here in September. I can't remember all of the names. I believe this one is like Plum Dazzle or maybe Firecracker. There's a lemon coral sedum. Another here, I believe this is like a blue comet. We have some just naturally occurring moss over here as well. Very happy with how these Quickfire hydrangeas turned out this year. These are just 3 years old. They'll get a bit bigger. These do not droop because they are so light and airy. And we'll just continue down the path here. I'll show you a couple plants I put in. This is my hosta garden at the end. More ground cover sedum. That is a proven winner's plant. A boogie woogie. And this is Blue Elf. This will bloom pink. Here is some ajuga. This is a multicolor. It has some like white in it. It's really cool. Here's my little hosta garden over here. I do have a tour I put out a couple weeks ago if you want to see that. I put in a couple of these Brandywine Viburnums. I'll put a picture here what they look like in the fall. They get berries and they turn a really pretty color. Stays a little more compact, like about 6 by 6. Probably won't get to be full potential here since it's so shady. We have some Arrowwood Viburnum that have little berries on it right there next to it. Just trying to add some privacy over here with a few more shrubs. Here is the backyard. We just put this new bed in and a few trees we planted. I went over the trees in a previous video, but first I'm going to take you over to my side yard here so you could see what the cut flower garden looks like right now. So, as you might know, my cut flower garden flooded a few times this year. We have had a record rain this year in Minnesota, so it's nothing like last year, and I will eventually have raised beds here, but these are all the zinnias that are blooming now, and I'll take it. Like I said, it's not as good as last year, but it's really attracting the pollinators right now, tons of butterflies, and it's not too bad. This is one of my favorites this year. This is a Lilia cactus. This is a Dreadlocks Amaranth. More pink Senorita. Zinnias, my fave. But I just love watching the butterflies just swarm back here. I can't wait to show you this next year, though, because we have many raised beds going in. We got some really tall Joe Pye Weed back there. It's just done blooming. It's about 8 feet tall. But it was a real pollinator magnet this year, too. A few types of zinnias back here. These are polar bears. These get a bit taller. You need something tall for the back of your bed. This is the Queen Lime Red. Really love that blush color. Sorry, the sun is washing out some of it a bit, but yeah, pretty happy. Happy with it flooding a couple times. At least most of these pulled through. They're a little stunted, but that's okay. Let me show you a few plants we have over here. This is a samurai toad lily. This could take a lot of water, and it could take full sun to shade. Looks like little orchids, and I love the variegation on the leaves. You can see here we have some lower growing Gomphrena. I planted these from seed. I like them. You could see all the slug damage we had this year. This is the first year I had slug damage on my hostas, so I got a treat for that next spring. It was just so wet this year. This bed is still wet. You can see some fungal issues on the Veronica, but hopefully next year will be better. We have some Hot Lips Turtlehead. Loves the water. Could take full to partial sun. We have some perfect storm hibiscus. It loves the water as well. Look at those blooms, so pretty. I love the red center here. Kind of goes with the hibiscus I have just behind it here, which is the Mars Madness, full red. This plant was about a year older, so it's a little bit bigger. They love water and full sun, but they really need a good amount of moisture to really develop. There's some Pye Weed in the back there. And this is what buttonbush looks like after they bloom. This is a really hardy shrub that could take full sun, and it is flood tolerant. So if you have a boggy area, you could plant these and they will do just fine. And this arbor has some honeysuckle growing up it. First year, so it hasn't bloomed yet. All of this has been flooded a bit too, but gosh, like this Proven Winners candy corn spirea, it's really pulled through. I did not think it would do that well in flood conditions, but coneflowers are on their way out. We have some Carl Forster grass just in front of the Pye Weed. Here's a couple plants I want to show you over here. We have some brocade artemisia in the front. And then this little plant, this is Coreopsis. I like the pink Coreopsis. They usually come in yellow, but I found some in pink and it spread quite a bit. It's only second year. We got some seed heads on the penstem in there. I believe this is Midnight Masquerade, I want to say. We have a second bloom on this Veronica. Almost done. And let me show you, this is a monarch magnet. This is the Blazing Star Meadow Liatris. If you want to attract monarchs, plant some of these. And then plant some swamp milkweed so they can lay their eggs. And back here, there's one plant I want to show you right now that I was really impressed with this year. It's kind of laid down on the ground now, but this is like a variegated obedient plant. I want it to spread a bit back here, so I'm planting some natives that could be a little aggressive, so love it. And the wetlands in back, we still have to develop that area. We're going to keep it mostly natural, but this is just a little path I put in, lined with some hosta. Let me show you this bed a bit, just some highlights. This is some native, just wild growing elderberry, and the berries are on it right now for the beginning of September. Very pretty. I kind of prune these more to tree form, but they come up as like shrubs, and they spread through runners. One of my favorite plants back here that really brightens up a shady area is this ivory halo dogwood. So pretty. I want more. Also some winter interest with the red twigs. And I love these hosta back here. I believe these are Francis William. Baptisia, and there's a Sun King Aurelia. Those can get about 4 by 4. They're perennials that die to the ground. They love shade, and they could take a moderate amount of water. We have a Highland Mugo Pine. I'm definitely going to plant more of this. This is Calamintha. Really attracts the pollinators. I love it this time of year, so I'll be putting a few more back here, I think. This tree we just put here really loves water because it's in the river birch family. This one's called Shiloh Splash. You can see the variegation on the leaves, so pretty. This can get up to 20 feet tall, but it's more columnar, so it'll stay about 9 feet wide. Here is a goldspire ginkgo. This also gets 20 feet tall and just about 6 to 10 feet wide. It'll turn gold in the fall. And a new addition back here is this Nishiki willow. It's a shrub, loves water, and this area really holds the water back here, so I think it'll like it. We have some great Blue Lobelia that blooms in the fall here. That's a native. It'll spread a little. Could take water and partial sun. I just added some hosta back here as well that I split so they don't look great, just so you know. We got some more turtlehead hot lips back here. This is first year, but these will grow in quite nice. Again, loves the water and can take shade. This is a clethra. This is ruby spice. I'll put a picture here what it looks like in midsummer, full bloom. Also called summer sweet. So these can take a little bit of shade and they love water. Here's a Carex called Everglow or Everillo. These get about 18 feet or 18 inches tall and wide. I put 3 back here because they can take a little shade and water. So I think these will look nice. Here's the Firelight Hydrangea, second year, so it's still small. This will get to be about 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, but I love the color it is in the fall. It's just so pretty, that blush color. It's taken a lot of water back here as well. Like I said, I think it's like the 3rd wettest year that we've had on record here. Here is All That Glitters Viburnum by Proven Winners. You could see the berries on it. I love the glossy leaves. This will stay a little more compact. And this is a cranberry bush viburnum. And we're back full circle here. A few more hosta. A lot of slug damage back here as well. We'll kind of go back up the path. This whole side yard is just about 4 years old. 3 to 4 years old. So everything's filling in nice. Kind of creating like a hallway, kind of, some separation between our side yard and the neighbors. And we're back to the 9-bark hedge. And there's a clematis on this arbor. So happy gardening, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in a few weeks.